All right, guys, in this episode of Let's Assess podcast, we're going to dive into what is going on at Arctic Cat. There's been an update that has been announced. Possible buyers, maybe no possible buyers. We're going to dive into it today on the Let's Assess podcast.
Look, I don't want to talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft.
All right, guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the Let's Assess podcast. Like we stated in the intro, we're talking kitty cat today and some economy stuff about snow check and stuff like that. Before we dive into it, if you would like, subscribe, share to a homie, we'd really appreciate it. And we will not be doing Q&A today. We will have Scumbag of the Week later in the video, but we're just going to talk about Arctic Cat, kind of get in and get out today. It's also on Spotify and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts if you guys want to listen to it there. So let's dive into it. Arctic Cat.
I think you hit the nail on the head in the intro. They quit making the kitty cat, and it's been a spiral downhill since.
Yeah.
That's probably where it all started.
Yeah, and I just want to say, okay, so let's talk about the press release or whatever that release was. So this was what, last week?
Yeah, like late last week. So Here we are early this week getting this out. But yeah, late last week, Arctic Cat released that they're still looking for strategic alternatives for the company. But as of May 22nd, there will be permanent layoffs of, I think it was like 384 employees, damn near 400. And they turned that into the Minnesota board. It looked like everybody at Thief River Falls. So I believe just the Arctic Cat brand, the snowmobile side. I don't know if they make the side-by-sides and the four-wheelers up there as well. But I would imagine maybe that side as well is probably looking at getting shut down. But because they have so much inventory.
And it makes total sense. It's like, okay, so they're for sale.
Yep.
I haven't heard anything about if they're going to do snow check or not. I'm assuming they're not.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think they're planning to build any 2026s. And then now with them, permanently laying off the 400 employees that build them, I think that pretty much tells us like there will not be a 2026 Arctic Cat snowmobile period.
Yeah, and there's been so much speculation in the industry of like, oh, they sold.
Oh, yeah.
CF Moto bottom, John Deere bottom, whoever you think bottom. But to me, this kind of says that they're not.
It's a goner.
Yeah, or no one's bottom yet.
Yeah.
So because if they did, they would want to get the production ramped up with whatever they're going to do for next year, unless they need a full year to figure out chassis changes or something like that. But
which I don't think that would happen because. That's their, like, if I bought a new company right now, the goal would be get that thing making money as soon as possible, right? So, like, that company needed to sell, and they needed to be hitting the ground running March right now. Like, it needed to happen. Otherwise, whoever buys them out, probably not going to make profits until next March now, right? Like, that snow check. Like, so I don't see it selling in the next year unless, like, Marcus kind of thinks, like, maybe Elon Musk, he's going to just step up and get her going.
Elon.
Yeah. So Elon, if you're listening, get after it.
Which he is a regular listener of the Let's Say podcast.
Every week.
Snowmobile guy.
Big snowmobile guy.
Yeah.
It on like with what he's doing with the economy and like Doge and everything right now, like that could possibly pull America out of the toilet.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah. And I mean, we were talking about this yesterday. I want to dive into this.
Yep.
I mean, is there anything you have more to say about the Arctic Cat situation? Because, I mean, they gave the press release, but we've kind of talked about most of the other stuff. I mean, it tells me that they haven't sold.
Yeah.
It tells me that they're not really looking to go into next year.
I think the only thing, like I read in the press release as well, which everybody listening probably already read as well, but they are going to continue to produce parts. They are going to continue to keep their dealers stocked. They're going to continue to like try to sell the inventory they have. It's just the new production that they cut off completely. What does that mean though? I mean, they've done this prior. Like I can't remember what the guy in the comments said on one of the previous videos, but like in like the 80s or something like that, they did this. They shut down for 2 years and then they turned back on production. So it kind of looks like maybe that's what they're doing again. Maybe it's the best thing for them. I don't know,
If they can't sell.
If they can't sell, then why not, I guess. So but as far as like the press release goes, what we know, not going to be building 2026s. Don't know when they'll be back building a snowmobile, but at least what's out there, they are going to be keep producing parts and keep the people that have bought the sleds on the snow.
Dude,
So,
I mean, it is sad from like, I'm sure the town of where
Deep
they're
River,
at
yeah.
is like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And then just for the employees, it sucks. And for the whole industry, I mean, we've talked about it. It's no bueno when one of the main companies in the sport is not doing well. But it's like I was talking to you last night, and I want to bring this up. All of these power sport things, okay, we have KTM, which in my opinion is the biggest, or maybe not the biggest sales wise, but they're one of the biggest names in motocross.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a way bigger industry than the snowmobiles
correct.
are. And then I was telling AJ yesterday, you know, side by side things ramping up around here. We actually rode the Razor yesterday. I'm looking on these forums, and these people, you know, we're so snowmobile minded because that's what we eat, sleep, and breathe, especially during the winter.
Yep.
And most of the fall and summer, I guess.
Year round.
Yeah, year round. But you know, you go on these forums and they're saying like, you know, none of these side by sides are selling. Like there's people not buying them. The used market is terrible. All this stuff.
Yep.
And you know, at the end of the day, it comes back down. Before I say that, what we always blame it on, or
Low
one
snow.
of the things is low snow. Like if there's not snow, then there's not gonna be
Nothing's
sleds
selling.
Yeah.
And- yeah.
Which there is truth to that because I'm one of those guys.
It has impact.
Right. Like if you guaranteed me that next winter was going to be epic, I would probably buy another snowmobile to have, you know, a 65 and 46 or 65 and 55, whatever. Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to get into that. But the side by side guys are saying the same thing. So you look at it and you say, well, they don't care about snow. And if anything, their conditions are better. Like I was telling you last night, I mean, I could have rode my side by side longest trip, maybe 2.5 hours from my house, longest.
Yep.
And rode it every single day
Every
of the
weekend.
winter.
Yep.
And obviously every day of the summer, obviously every day of the spring and fall. So it's not conditions of, you know, like natural conditions, like nature.
Yeah.
It's economic conditions. Because it's like we were talking about, dude. It like for a lot of these guys, it just doesn't make sense.
You simply can't afford
Yeah.
to go and play right now.
Yeah.
Or to buy a new play toy or
Because
whatever that looks like. You just can't afford it. Like
yeah.
life in general, your house, your vehicle, the things that you use day to day, day in and day out that you need, your necessities are taking over, you know? And I think like me and you were talking, and I know like me and Marcus with the business have talked, like, yeah, we honestly chalk it up as like, we think like, obviously we're broke, like everybody else is broke. Like this is just the cycle of the economy right now is there is no money out there. So there's no money to be spent frivolously on toys like this.
On toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, think about, you know, we were talking about this last night. Think about this. I want you to be honest. You have personal snowmobiles. How many do you have right now?
3.
Okay, you have 3. So let me ask you this. Say you need a new truck. You can either
You
take...
might be in that situation.
Kind of am.
yeah, but like take this situation. Just tell me what you do. Would you rather buy like... You need a new truck. Your truck's blown up or it's totaled, whatever.
Right.
Would you rather buy like, let's say a 10-year-old truck with 150,000 miles on it right now, kind of a base truck, get you around,
Yep.
or would you rather get rid of, let's say, 2 of those sleds and just have your 54 turbo and get a truck that is new, or let's say in the last 2 years with 20,000 miles on it and it's fancy? Which one would you take?
The smart move would be hold on to the sleds because they're not worth anything anyways.
Right,
Right.
but if it was like a hypothetical like trade,
Like right
deal
now, I
almost.
got to do it.
Yeah,
Because you need a truck.
Probably a brand new truck because
Yeah.
you could get whatever deals are given.
but see, dude, like the way that I look at it too is like, okay, you're a little different because you do the snowmobile thing for work and you ride a lot.
Yeah.
But it's also too, it's like for 99% of people, would I rather have something nice that I'm going to use every single day until I get rid of it, or something for most people that I'm going to use 4 times a month for 3 months a year.
Yeah. They're driving that truck to work every day.
Yeah.
Or they're riding the snowmobile every other weekend, maybe.
Yeah. And it's like, use your truck
Truck
every
and
day.
sleds.
Well,
So,
yeah. But I mean, think about this too. Like, you're going to go home here in a while.
Right.
And you're not going to use a sled.
No.
But you're going to use your truck still.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, even on, like, you don't need a fancy truck by any means. But what I'm trying to illustrate is, like, these sleds are the first thing to go for most people when they're strapped for cash.
Yep. And that same token goes, like, we're in the snowmobile industry, so that's the first thing we think is like, oh, snowmobiles are the first thing to go. But same for 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, side-by-sides, boats. Every little, like, side hobby thing is the first thing that gets kicked. And that's where the economy's at right now. We're seeing that.
And, dude, like, think about this. Again, for you guys, it's different because you ride a ton and that's your business and everything. But think about this. Say you live in Denver and you like snowmobiling, okay? Say you finance a sled at whatever rates that you guys bought in the fall.
8%.
So I'm not talking about like 0%.
Yep.
Or even 0%. You put no cash down on it, right? Yep. Let's say you have, what's a fair payment on one of those things?
Shoot, I would say probably at least $400 to $600.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So let's say $500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
So $500 a month, all year. You don't get to take a break when the summer months roll around. So you're gonna pay $500 a month. Your insurance, a lot of people put insurance on it. Your fuel. It's like AJ was saying. Your hotels, if you have to drive all the way out here from Denver and you want to ride more than 5 hours.
Yep.
So all of this stuff adds up, and then you take the total amount of money that it costs you for the year, and you divide it by the days you've rode, and you might be out there spending $5,000 a day to ride this snowmobile.
Yeah.
It's like, do you like it that much? You know, a lot of people
Can't put a
don't.
price on fun, hey.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, I'm in the same boat because I loved snowmobile, but the point is there's a lot of people that like to snowmobile, but they're not willing to sacrifice their whole life to snowmobile.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, think about it. I mean, you're not married. You don't have kids. You don't have a house payment and all this stuff. So it's a
little easier to
Yeah.
swipe the card.
Yeah.
But also, great option. Maybe this might be great for powder bound. Instead of you taking a $5,000 hit, don't buy a new snowmobile. Come out and rent one.
Yeah.
For $500 a day, come out and ride for 3 days. That's a $1,500 loss. Like, it's a loss, right? Because you didn't buy one. But for $1,500, you can come out and have a trip out here instead of buying a snowmobile and
paying insurance
and all that.
And,
Your truck and trailer driving from Minnesota, getting a hotel out. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, just
It's a
book the
no-brainer.
flight, get out here, and the $1,500 is the loss on the snowmobile, the rental. But instead of taking a $5,000 to $8,000 loss on a new snowmobile, bam, you're only $1,500 out. Like, that's a smart move in my mind thinking.
Yeah. Well, and especially if you're going to ride 4 days a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, dude. We're like the 1% of people that live right next to a mountain that have the time to go do it. And so we ride even me, like, you guys ride a lot more than me even.
Yeah.
But even me, I'm going more than 99% of people in the world.
Well, and we were breaking down because you wanted to get a 9R 146 for next year. And we're like, well, how many days are you actually going to ride that sled? Maybe 10. Okay, 10 at max. I'm going to say 10 at max. So for 10 days, are you willing to take an $8,000 hit on that snowmobile in a year? That's a pretty
Hell yeah, he is.
steep.
Yeah, I am.
Where do I sign?
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, he looks at me. Heck yeah, he is.
but like when you put it in numbers like that,
It's scary.
that is daunting.
Yeah.
Or like, why don't you keep that $8,000 in your pocket and go buy a house?
Yeah.
Like, you got to make the house payment. That's your whole entire house payment for a whole year.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but it's the same thing with dirt bikes and side by sides. And it's like I was telling you, Aj, you have to think about it on this too. So there's two types of people in the sport. There's there's the people that have, and I'm not talking about you guys because you guys do it for work.
We're an anomaly.
But I'm saying, like, you have two different types of people. You have the people that they have the money, and this is just a generalization. There's obviously exceptions, a lot of exceptions, but you have the people that have a strong job, they make a lot of money, they can afford their house payment and their car payments and everything, and they have disposable income to go buy a snowmobile and a $50,000 Trails West trailer and a $80,000 truck. There's those people. Yeah. But 90% of those people, because their job is so strong, they don't have the time to ride 5 days a week, right?
One trip a year.
They're lucky to make one trip. Yeah.
Right. So you have those people, but then you have the opposite side of the coin where it's like you go part-time in the winter or you work construction and you take the winters off, whatever your situation is. You have the time to do it, but most of those people, as you're seeing in the industry, don't have the cash, or if they do, it just doesn't make sense to them to go out and buy a new sled.
Yep.
Because they don't have the cash. They have the time, not the cash. The other people have the cash, but not the time.
Yep. Well, and something else, like, I mean, I think you just hit the nail on the head with what the situation is, right? Like, it's literally coming down to people just don't have the money or the time to be doing it. And that's where there's a strong line right now in the economy.
Yeah.
And more like the power sports industry or this type of stuff is your blue collar workers, your guys that aren't, multimillionaires. And that's the guys that are buying these toys. And right now things are tight for that. The middle class, people.
Yeah.
Like, it just is.
It's not, and they're still buying the stuff,
yeah,
but they're not buying the new stuff. A lot of them,
Correct.
They're buying maybe a new holdover.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's common.
Yeah.
Or they're buying a 3-year-old one or whatever. It's like, I'm not saying that the guys are not.
Oh, they're still in the sport. They're still doing it. Yeah.
But it's not like how it was where, like, dude, we had a couple people just here in our small town where it's like they got, couple sleds.
Yep.
For different terrain or whatever they want to do. I just don't see it that much anymore.
Yep.
And dude, it's obvious. It's like, for the people listening out there, this is happening. Like, we're not just saying this to talk. I mean, you're seeing it from aftermarket companies. You're seeing it from manufacturers. Look at Ski-Doo. Look at the rebates going on. All of these signs are telling you what's actually going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Because these companies wouldn't be doing that if snowmobiles were flying off the shelves.
Yeah. 6 months ago, they weren't doing this because things were moving.
Yeah.
Now, 6 months later, nothing has sold, nothing is moving. We're having to move these new units. What is it going to take to get somebody to do it?
Yeah.
And what's crazy is, like, these awesome discounts and stuff that they're doing, they're still not moving.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty strong sign of where the economy is, that, like, at 0%, multi-year warranties. I mean, there's no reason, if you had the money to buy it, you wouldn't go do it right now because it's fantastic deals.
Right.
Yeah.
But even us in our situation, like, we need them. And it's like, we haven't went and snow checked anything yet. Like, we're still seeking options because it's what is going to happen. What's the best, what is the best option? We're still waiting for that.
And that's the thing, dude, is so now the demand's not there. The supply is there. So it's like, we've gotten into this conversation. Why would you pay $25 for a sled out the door that in reality it is the same exact sled that you could get for $18 out the door?
Yeah.
It's just a year old.
Or you can go buy a 24 for $12,000 on Facebook right now with 500 miles on it.
Yeah.
You got some experience in that department?
I'm pretty close to $12,000 on my red one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty insane.
What do you guys think? So you're selling your Ski-Doos, your 25s.
Yep.
What price do you think you could put them at and dump them within a week?
$12,000.
$12,000. You think they'd move?
Yep. Half price. Literally half.
So that's my point. So then you look at it and you say, and I guarantee you guys are like, well, should we just ride these one more year?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So then you don't buy a new sled. I mean, dude, and then you're not buying aftermarket because you already have all of the aftermarket on these sleds.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's a vicious.
It's a trickle
vicious
effect,
cycle.
real fast. Real fast is that going to get ugly?
And I still stand by my thing of like, it's debatable, but it's like, I really feel like if those manufacturers, the way to fix this is to come out with something that guys like us are willing to do. It's that different I'm gonna go very dramatic here, like a chassis change.
Yep.
If they change the chassis, I guarantee you both would buy new snow checks.
More likely.
Yeah.
I would on Polaris
Yeah.
side, even
No,
if I lost a bunch of money.
I think for sure we both wouldn't be,
Yeah.
without a question, we'd be right there for sure.
So,
Yep.
yeah, it's a bad deal.
Another thing that I've noticed, and like I think COVID, people couldn't leave the country. They couldn't go on other vacations. We are now seeing that effect of people that they were riding their razors, they were riding their snowmobiles many, many times a year. And let's say they were coming out 5 times a year snowmobiling, like from the Midwest, they're going to come out 5 times a year snowmobiling. All of a sudden this year, maybe they come out once or twice, but now their family can travel. So they're going on vacations. They're going out of country. They're going and doing other things now that that's like full open again. So I think maybe that's hurting our power sports industry because they ramped up so much and was like, yeah, we're doing this thing. And then now they're still at that production level and have that expectation.
Yeah.
But like we were talking to our local dealer, Ski-Doo pushed more Ski-Doos onto him because he sold so many last year. But that's not going to happen. Those are not going to sell this year. Like it's not going to keep going up. Like it's on its decline. But as a business, like, of course, I don't blame them. Why wouldn't they try? Like that's what they're trying. They're trying to make money just like we're trying to make money.
Yeah.
But
for these people that say these manufacturers need to they need to lower the supply. Like they need to cut it in, 80%. So then it'll fix everything. It's like we've talked about. They are a manufacturing company.
they don't care about resale of used sleds.
But it's like, what doesn't people get about that? It's like they don't make money unless they are pumping snowmobiles to dealers.
Right.
yeah.
That's how they make their money.
Yep.
So that's
100%.
like telling you guys, guys, for whatever reason, just don't do as many trips this year.
Yeah.
Like you could do that many trips, but for some reason we don't want you to
Don't
do
do that.
trips. It's like, but that's how you make money.
Yeah.
So
you have to.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what are we gonna do? Close our doors because the general public wants us to not do as many trips or
Yep.
not produce as many snowmobiles? It's
Exactly.
like that's how they make their money.
Correct.
Same with cars. It's the same with these OEMs.
Every product.
Yeah, they are manufacturing companies.
Yep.
That is how they make their money. So,
100%. Yeah. And I think, we're just seeing the effects of that and that more and more people are spending their money in other places or going in different things. And, there's just less money going around. So maybe the wife and the kids are needing their vacation too. And, well, that's what's a priority right now.
Disneyland it is.
Yeah. It's
well,
just,
dude, and that'd be interesting to see if Disneyland's trips are down.
yeah. That would be a telltale of
Yeah.
the literally economy because they was restricted with COVID. Now everything's wide open again.
Yep.
Are they truly down still? Because I really think they would be. They have to be. I mean, I just don't think the money's out there. So, well, that was a pretty good discussion, I think, on all that.
Yeah.
You gonna hop into the scumbag of the week?
I'm trying to pull it up here.
Okay.
Instagram. We need to get an email.
Yeah.
To you guys. And
Said that for the
while we're-
month.
Yeah, seriously. While we're pulling this up here, we have Scumbag of the Week. If you don't know what that is, submit your videos on to Cook Bros or Powder Bound your mess ups.
Yeah.
Or just funny videos.
Anything that happens. Yeah.
If you
Yep.
win.
Doesn't have to be snowmobile related, even just something.
Why is this not working?
And we're not going to do Q&A this week. We will get back into Q&A next week. Brent's got to hop on a plane here quick, so we're going to get him out of here. So Kyle, I know you're listening. I will get to your question next week.
God. All right, here it is.
All right, we're jumping into Scumbag of the Week. Brent's showing us right now. Yep.
Here she comes.
Oh, she's still going. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
That's a good one.
Roll right off.
Dude, I've
Yep.
seen a couple of those where hold on.
That's
I've seen
a good
couple
hit.
of those. That's Justine Brotley.
Nice. You did her this week, that's for sure. I mean, you had a hell of a line going up the hill there. It looked good until you
Till you let go.
let go at the top.
Dude,
Bam.
I wonder If you're watching this, Justine, let us know where you're from because you're definitely not from America. It does not look like. Oh, maybe you are. No, I don't think you are.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know where you're from. But that was a good scumbag of the week. Tell your family that you earned the throne of scumbag of the week.
Lucky you.
Yeah, dude,
no.
I like seeing some of these submissions. We got a couple others that we can run next time, but
That's pretty good.
yeah,
I
scumbag
like that.
of the week. So we appreciate it, guys. You have anything else?
I think that's pretty good. We appreciate everybody listening, everybody following along, and until next week.
Yep.
We'll be
Let her
back.
eat. We appreciate it. Love you guys.
See ya.
Peace.